And all they wanted to do was lend money on real estate. Well, I was what I called a relationship banker. To me, means I have a customer that I could lend them money on real estate. I could lend money if they wanted to buy a car or anything within their business. So I was trying to create a relationship with these folks that I could count on them and they could count on me in terms of the loans, the deposits, and then referrals. So they would refer a lot of different business to me as well. Typical day, it's hard to say you have a typical day in banking. And again, that's the beauty of it, is because you're doing so many different things all the time. You go in and you either have meetings, and this is kind of, you all may be pretty excited about not having Mr. Whitaker to be able to teach you anything today, and hopefully you can understand some stuff from us. But it's fun for us too, because we're not in the office. We get to come out here and talk to y'all. But typical day is you have phone calls coming in from customers. We're out all the time knocking on doors, meeting different people. And that's what I really enjoy about the banking part of it, is that it allows me to meet different people. It's not just this one person, and this is all they do is buy equipment, let's say. But I visit with one guy might want to buy equipment that day. I'll visit somebody else might be interested in buying a piece of real estate, somebody else that might have a concern with their checking accounts, and then someone else that might be interested in investing their dollars. At Whitney Bank, we have a situation where I don't do all of this, but we're fortunate enough, because of the size of our bank, to have multiple partners. So like Mr. Sandiford, Dwayne over here, he and I have known each other, gosh, I don't know, what, 15 years or so, 20 years? Worked together in a different bank, but we have other people that we can work with that have the expertise in the treasury management, which is pretty much on an investment side, in terms of somebody might have an extra $100,000 they want to invest in somewhere, and we introduce them to those folks. We have somebody else that may need to have new accounts opened up, so we bring in those folks. So it's the opportunity with that bank that we have those groups of partners that really bring to the table an expertise. Again, my roles and responsibilities pretty much are exactly what I've said so far. I create opportunities for different businesses to make loans to. I help them get through some of the concerns that they may have with their checking accounts or their loans, or trying to or help them out. So the other side of it is, I guess I've been doing this since '73, or been in banking for 40 some odd years. I even forget nowadays, but anyhow. I don't know if there's anything else that I need to add to it, so Dwayne, if you'd like to come on up. Thank y'all.
Okay, thanks, Lee.
All right, and so if you need a few more minutes to fill in, you can. And think of what question you're going to write down at the bottom to ask.
Give them a minute to answer before I start it.
We'll do the questions at the end.
Okay. Well, I'm Dwayne Sandiford. I'm glad to be out here. It's nice to come out. I had no idea where your campus was. I actually grew up here in Houston. Went to coincidence, went to Spring Branch High School after Lee, of course. And actually, when I was in high school, I know y'all were in the Aldine School District. We actually played Aldine in football back when I graduated in '79. But after graduating from high school in '79, I went to Sam Houston State University, graduated there in 1985 with a degree in finance. With a finance degree, it gives you a lot of opportunity. There's other things you can do. Like I said, I had offers to go to work for an accounting firm, and like Lee said, I didn't want to be an accountant. An accountant is somebody that's more tied to a desk. They work with numbers all day, which, yes, I did work with numbers to get my degree, but it really wasn't what I wanted to do. I really like to get out and meet people, do different things. Some of the highlights about our job is we get to go out and visit a lot of different companies and see how you know, whether it's a machine shop or a sign company or a limo company, you know, you get to see a lot of different companies and how they operate and how they run their business. You see people that are very successful, make a lot of money. You know, you feel like you're a part of that, because I can give you an example. I have a customer that I banked now for 18 years. When I met their company, to give you an idea, they did $1.5 million in revenues. In other words, their sales were $1.5 million, and they probably made $100,000 at the end of the day after they had started. That company today does $40 million in revenue, and they take home between a father and son about $20 million. You know, so it's neat to be able to lend money to people like that and see the things they do. Plus, we get a lot of perks in banking. You know, we get to, you know, we go on, we entertain our customers, because our top clients that put money in the bank and borrow money from us, we don't want another bank stealing them, so we entertain them. You know, if they like to hunt, or they like to fish, or they like to play golf, those are things that we try to do with our customers to do them. So there are, you know, just beside the job, there's a lot of other perks. And like I said, it depends. If you're a people person, banking is a really good industry, because you're dealing with a lot of people. You know, if you're shy and don't like interaction, then probably a bank's not probably the best place to work, because that's what our business is dealing with people. Lee kind of told you about some of the others. I won't go on his. Actually, my career began, luckily my grandfather had been in banking, and a lady that he hired actually hired me. And I was very fortunate, because when I came out in 1985, I graduated from high school. That was, again, this is before y'all's time, but that was when the company, oil prices fell, with the company, or the whole country was not doing well, unemployment was high. So I was very fortunate to get a job during that time, because it was a pretty tough time in the whole economy here. I came to Whitney Bank. I've been with Whitney 7.5 years. What you'll find when you talk to some of our other bankers come out is, banking is an industry that a lot of people, you know, you kind of move from bank to bank for other opportunities. You know, some people do. You know, there are some people at Whitney that have been there a whole career, but the majority of us, every once in a while, there's a better opportunity at another bank. Maybe another bank's lending more money, or has better programs that you would pursue. And Whitney's been a very good employer. Been very pleased to work for them. They've treated me and employees that I work with very well. They're a well-capitalized bank. They're about, to give you an idea, they're about $20 billion in assets, so that, you know, we're a fairly large bank. The bank started in New Orleans, and we bank, basically we're on the Gulf Coast, so we're in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas are the states that Whitney operates in. Like we said, a typical day is, yes, you'll have scheduled appointments, but you know, you'll have customers that'll call in, and maybe somebody stole their checkbook, and they're worried that somebody's going to commit fraud on their account, or somebody's having a problem with this, or you know, it varies from day to day. You know, that's kind of the interesting part, is I never know what my day is going to look like, because something could just blow up, and you know, somebody has a big customer has a big problem, you've got to go out and see them. So it's not real structured, so to speak. I mean, I have an office. I do go into the office, but you know, a lot of times I'm out most of the day visiting customers, and then coming back in to solve any problems that we have. But you know, the good news about the banks is, you know, like I said, we take in money. Your parents or grandparents or you open accounts with the bank. That's the money that we then have to lend out to companies. And you know, a lot of companies, you know, need to be able to borrow money to be able to grow. So you know, they may be able to employ, let's say, enough employees for the whole room here, but they want to expand, and so they need to hire more employees, so they have to borrow money from the bank to do that. Roles and responsibilities. I'm a vice president. Like I said, I have, you know, me and Lee share a lending assistant, so we have someone that helps us with our paperwork, order things for us. You know, like if let's say we're going to do a loan for a guy's going to buy a building, we have to get an appraisal done on that building. So she'll order those appraisals and do things like that. So, and why I like it because, you know, like I said, it's just very satisfying to see companies that you've lent money to just grow and do well. And, you know, it's fun to interact with those people and business owners. Like I said, it's been fascinating to me just to learn about all the different businesses that, and the way people can make money and different things that you would have never thought that somebody could do that and actually make money at it. And I've been, actually this is I just passed in August, I've been in banking 30 years, so probably another 10 or 15 I'm ready to retire. And just is why financial planning is important, and I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of businesses fail because the owners didn't know how to manage their money. And so this is real important that you learn how to manage money, because you're gonna have to do it your whole life. I mean, you gotta know how much you got in your account, because I don't know if you know, banks charge fees. If you write a check for more than you have in your account, there's a $35 fee. Well, imagine if you have 5 checks come in. You know, so and that's your hard-earned money that's just going away for nothing. So it's very important to learn, you know, how to manage your money in a checking account, and, you know, savings when you have that. So that's what I guess I'd end at.
All right, so why don't you guys take a few minutes, finish filling in the details you just learned about Mr. Sandifer's career. And then you'll take a minute and you can answer those 2 questions on the bottom.
Okay, when I call you by your name, say that you're present, please. Marlena? Kayvon? Mr. Cardenas? Juliana? Jenny? Daniela? Miguel? Brianna Greer? Josemir? Ms. Harris? Jantel? Jascar? Kevin? Brianna Mason? Yeah, Matordi, sweetheart. Fatima?
Here.
Who is the other young lady that was starting, that walked in the door late? Not you, the other lady. I sent to the office. What's your name, sweetheart? Daniela? Who? Okay, thank you. You have a tour as well. Denzel? Here. Trenton? Here. Nayeli? Michelle?
Here.
Stephanie?
Here.
Darlene? Kirk?
Here.
And Isai?
Here.
Thank you.
Same time.
So you'll notice the bottom's kind of a trick question because both of our guest speakers, both of their titles are Vice President of Commercial Lending. So some class periods are going to have multiple speakers who might have different roles. So the question about, of the ones you learned today, which career are you most interested in? Anybody in here interested in a career as a Vice President in commercial lending, perhaps? Lending money to the big, to businesses, corporations? No? I mean, when he said he got to entertain people, like the whining and dining, fine. I could get on board with that, huh? So I'd love to hear from you. We'll go around the room. You're supposed to write down one question you have for each Whitney Bank guest speaker. So it could be really anything that you're wondering about. Maybe there's another detail that you need to fill in on the chart. Do we have a brave volunteer that'd like to go first?
Oh, Mr. Mason would be love to go. Thank you for volunteering tonight.
And it can be the same question for both.
My question, is y'all looking forward to like exceeding in y'all career, like doing some more stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Are they looking for,
To like do more instead of being like a vice president, like
Oh.
own some stuff?
so is there a next step maybe?
Yeah.
Well, certainly there's other opportunities in banking, and I think, you know, Dwayne hit on it from the standpoint with, we have an assistant who works with us, and then you have people that we have to report to. And I guess at my age right now, I'm happy where I am, because I don't want to take on additional responsibilities of overseeing a lot of different people. In my earlier days, certainly the opportunity was trying to get to the